Bhujagasayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogibhi Dhyanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaika Natham. The Bhagavatam is a great book that leads us to liberation. This Bhagavata, when we were last time, when we were studying that the son, he was advising, son the Kapila, the great Muni, he was advising his mother, Devahuti, to have a good company, holy company. The mother asked the son, but how I will recognize who is a holy person? And there we have already discussed, with many other things, the Kapila said that you must find the 5 qualities in the person who is truly a holy person, whose company, whose advices, whose guidance will help you. What are that? Titikshava. First is the titikshava. The must have the patience. This titikshava in the spiritual life is full of struggle, external and internal. From outside, people may not understand. An insider who is trying to develop the spiritual life, particularly segregating from the other household duties, completely alone, is terrible. So that is why in the Upanishad it says, Shurashadhara nishita durattoya durgam patastat kavayo vadanti. Shurashadhara. And this is a very far and long path that you have to. And like the razor's edge, you have to walk on that. Nishita durattaya, far, far. We do not know when it's going to stop. Durgam patha is very difficult to travel. And who say? Those who have traveled in this path, kavaya, badanti, they said it. So that is called the spiritual. So patience is necessary, a lot of patience. I have taken the initiation 4 or 5 years over. I have not realized God. And this type of impatient people can never reach anywhere in the spiritual life. You have to be patient. How you can be patient? Complete faith in the words of the scripture and in the words of the Guru, the Master, the Preceptor. The scripture said that there is God and it can be realized. The Guru said this is the path to follow. Now your only duty is to follow that. Whether you reach over there or not, don't bother about that. You will reach, for sure. So these 2 qualities are necessary to have faith. That's why they say Shraddha. Without the Shraddha, one cannot. That's a wonderful word, the Sanskrit word, 2 letters word, that is called Shraddha. And Swami Vivekananda again and again, he used to say, Shraddhavan Bhava. You must have that Shraddha. What is that Shraddha? Self-confidence. And confidence in the words of the scripture. What is that scripture? Veda. What the Veda says, all this is you see is nothing but the consciousness. And the same consciousness, for the benefit of the ordinary people, have taken the human form. And this human form that the God has taken, we call him God. Why he has taken the human form? And we have already studied that. The Vishnu, that consciousness as if taking the human form, and then the Lord Vishnu is making him two different parts. One is man and one is woman. All we have already studied in the last classes. So here God is there. Because the devotees, they cannot understand all-pervading consciousness. If you ask anyone, meditate on all-pervading consciousness, what he will meditate or she will. So that is the reason the concentration of the mind is the first and foremost thing. And to help to develop that concentration, the God has taken the human form. That's called Avatara. That is called the Vishnu, the Lord, and from him the Rama, the Krishna. So this you have to understand. A person who has realized that after a long patience, titikshava. Shankaracharya, he is giving the definition of the titiksha. Sahana sarva dukkhyanam. Those who understand a little bit of Sanskrit. Sahana and forbearing, sarva dukkhanam, all types of problems, miseries. Apratikara purvakam, without trying to solve that. Chinta vilapurohitam, without even thinking or lamenting, oh, why this thing to me, never for that. Sa titiksha, that is called titiksha. This patience is necessary. The first quality of the holy person, titiksha. Whether he is having this. If you go and see that holy people are really very patient. And some people externally, when they are talking with the people, they show, but that the Swami Vivekananda, he was angry sometimes. He used to scold his disciples. Why? To make them perfect. But then shall we say that, oh, he is not titiksha, he is not titiksha, he is not a holy man. No. We have to have that type of intellect to understand what truly it means. One lady in this New York, she used to serve Swami Vivekananda. She used to stay in the other part of the park. And from there, after attending all her house duties, she will come and then she will serve the Swamiji, cooking for him, taking the notes and also arranging the other things. Swamiji used to scold her all the time. Then one day, Swamiji noticed that she is crying. Why you are crying? I don't understand why all the time you scold me. Other people are there, they don't do anything for you, but you never say anything to them. Then Swamiji said, I wanted to see you perfect. That's why I scold you. Then afterwards, that lady, she always expected that Swamiji will scold because she understood that that is the expression of love. I want to see you perfect. So that's why the holy people, they used to do like that. The patience we have to understand in a different way too. Another incident that we know is very difficult to understand though. The Swami Turiyananda ji and other direct disciples of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, they were sitting in the bed. One brahmachari, after finishing his in the old shrine, he was coming down. If you have visited, you must have seen that the open stairs, when that sitting on a bench, still that bench is there, wooden bench, and suddenly he looked at that boy and started scolding him, abusing him very angrily. The other Swamis were taken aback. He didn't do anything. He finished that puja and coming down. Then that boy was also terrified. He was, I didn't do anything. What happened? Why the Swami is behaving like this? So somehow, naturally we like to go away to hide somewhere. So he almost ran away from there. Then Turiyanandaji sat, and the other Swamis after some time asked, how come that you became so angry? That boy didn't do anything. Who the boy? I didn't say anything to that boy. I didn't say anything to that brahmachari. I saw a bad atma, a soul, bad soul, trying to enter into that brahmachari. When he came out from the temple, I was trying to protect that brahmachari. So we do not know when the monks are scolding, why suddenly they are... So friends, we have to understand the first quality, titikshava. And the titiksha means forbearing all this. It doesn't mean that all the time smiling face, no. Sometimes some people, they like, they see all the time smiling. And some people develop the habit of smiling all the time. That is another problem. I sometimes say, if someone is smiling all the time, don't believe him. All the time angry, don't believe him. Normal, it's okay. So titikshava, in our training in Belur Math, oh my God, when we now think about that, so we think, how could he pass that exam? When you are joining the Ramakrishna mission, a young boy below 30 with proper education and free from all the physical ailments and all, then you can join. And of course you should have Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna as your ideal. And then 3 years you can be in any center. After that 2 years you have to spend in the training center, it's called, the monastic training. It's a rigorous training. But it's all fun, all almost same age. The brahmacharis will be there and all. To have one ideology that this I am going to achieve, and they will give you different type of job. 2 months like that, 2 years, different type. Sometimes you have to serve the food, sometimes you have to dress the vegetable, sometimes cleaning the bathrooms, sometimes serving the elderly people, sometimes in the temple. I got the temple duty. In a Belur Math temple, if you have gone, is all white marble, the floor. And the Pujari Maharaj, who was there, the monastic member, the senior Swami, he becomes the priest. He used to keep white rice spreading all over. Now, if the white rice is over here, how can you understand? It's a big area. The sanctum sanctorium is also big. And then the white, the saddle paste also you will sprinkle here. And when you go clean it. And when you are cleaning, naturally sometimes all rice will be there. He knows. Is that will come? Is it come? So then he will go over there. So see, you have not done it. Do it again. And now it's really, physically you should have to be very, very fit. Otherwise, so difficult to clean once again. First you have to sweep once again, and then again rubbing. So that is terrible punishment. But I was lucky, I must say. My predecessor, he had a very difficult time, but when he was handing over the church, he whispered, see, this Swami will do this. I have developed a system to find out what. The moment you enter, at the gate itself, you lie down on the floor as if you are prostrating to God. And then you look like this on the floor, and you can notice what is where. Go and pick those. Patience and patience. You cannot imagine. Serving the old Swami, there was a great Swami was there. He was a Sanskrit teacher. And we used to want a glass of water or maybe a cup of milk. And we used to take up the milk cup, go and bring that milk from the kitchen And naturally, in the cup, any place on the table, immediately go back again. And he will say, out, and he will go out, then again he will put the cup. Now you come. Where is the this? Take it. Go again. Bring that. And then exactly on that spot you have to give. Attention completely. Yesterday the junior, the novice, the brahmachari, he was talking. So he was telling that one very particular, patience, the tremendous patience. Otherwise, you cannot be the Ramakrishna mission monk. It's so difficult. Nowadays, the Swamis are also young, so they don't. At our time, it was so difficult. So the titiksha, sahana, sarvakshana, is terrible. So that you passed, then you go karunikaha. You have to have a very compassionate heart, feeling for each and every one. Friends, I am talking about the description, the definition that our Kapila Muni is giving about a holy person. There are so many hundreds and thousands of people who claim that they are religious people, but all religious people are not holy people. We have to understand that. The company of a holy person must have these 5 qualities. First, titikshava. Second, karunika. Some people are very emotional, but emotional is not the karuna. Karuna, the kindness, is not emotion. You have to understand how far I can do and how far I can help. Then only it is possible, otherwise not. So you have to understand this, that intellect should be there. The majority of people are emotional people, doing this and that out of nothing. Will be angry, I did that again, see, look at this. That is not the way. Karuna is a totally different. Karuna, compassion, is trying to help that particular person, helping in such a way so that he or she can help afterwards, not depending on me. Majority of the people we always serve or help in such a way, they become dependent on us. That is very wrong. So karuna, the karunika, that kind-heartedness is completely different thing. Swami Vivekananda was, and all others, the young people, they sat to eat, and Sri Ramakrishna, he was taking care that their proper food is given to them, etc. Then one person came from outside. He also sat by the side of Swami Vivekananda. That time Narendranath, 17, 18 years old young people. Sri Ramakrishna came running and shouted to that man, "No, you get up, go away from here, not in the same line." Swami Vivekananda, the young boy, he was taken. Why? Let him sit. Let him also take food. No, sit over here, you must go away. And apparently, if you read up to that and stop, if you don't know the person Sri Ramakrishna, and you will conclude, oh, this is the man, oh God. So cannot be a good person. See, he came to eat, he could serve. No, that person was not a good person. His character was very bad. So the Guru never wanted that these people should come and mix with the young 16, 17 years, all these young people whom he was slowly making up. This type of association will completely destroy their mind. So he was guarding them. Apparent action, when we see, oh no, there is no karuna, there is no love for these poor people. He was having so much of love, Sri Ramakrishna, full of love. But that moment, he was very careful, like a mother. Mother knows. The son wants to get the friendship with someone. The mother said, no, don't go to them. Why? The mother, they know that they may not be good friends. They will destroy my son. So out of protection. So we have to understand this also, the karuna. And we have seen the karuna, the compassion, the kind-heartedness of Swami Vivekananda. You know, those who have read the biography of Vivekananda, how he used to move all around here. In one day, he has given lecture 8, 10, 12 lectures in a day. In those days, there was no microphone. He had to shout almost to get little money. Why? To help the poor people in our country. And the people, so-called educated people, jealous. So they constantly were writing the letters that he is not a true monk and he is having so many children over here. It was all wrong, false things. They used to go on writing. But Swamiji never said anything against them. Oh, these poor people, they're a little bit jealous, no problem. So like this he used to go on doing. So Karuna, I love them. I should go and help. So we have seen this type of activities. If anyone is not working at all, just simply sitting, how you will understand whether he is having the kind-heartedness or not? So through the action we can understand a person. A person simply quietly sitting, not talking at all, cannot be a good person. And Suhida Sarvadehinam. He must be friendly with each and everyone. Oh, these are my people, so I will love them. No. In the life of Sister Nivedita, she was not that time associated with Swami Vivekananda and his philosophy. She was just a young lady, just graduated and got a job in a school. And the school, they used to serve in one quarter in some places. Nivedita was very happy. She used to go and serve those people. One day, the abbot called her and said, oh, those people don't belong to this church. You should not help them. Nivedita, she was taken aback. But they are poor. It doesn't matter. If they don't come to us, we are not going to help them. So that is Sarvadehinam. When Swami Vivekananda came and he gave that idea, Nivedita accepted, and that Margaret Noble, she left everything and went to India to accept this ideology. That is the thing, Sarvadehinam. In one place, they were criticizing us, and they were telling the Ramakrishna mission in a very tribal place. I am not mentioning that area in India. So they were criticizing a political people, a group of people, that Ramakrishna mission is getting the government grant because in those days the government was also the BJP government. So because of that they are getting the money and this and that. And that the state chief minister, like the governor, he was very critical. Then what to do? In India, that you cannot work without the support of the government. That was a very great difficulty. Then they invited me in a program that chief minister also came. And I could understand the chief minister is expressing in different way that they are not very happy with us. Then in my talk, I told that before chief minister speaks, give me the opportunity so that I will explain, I will try to explain. And I told them, some people, they do not understand the Ramakrishna mission. Our first philanthropic work started by serving the Muslims. A little Muslim girl, she was crying. And one of the direct disciples of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was passing through that path and said, what happened to you? I was having the only earthen pot to keep our water, and by mistake I have broken it. My mother will be very angry with me. Then what to do? The Swami took her to the shop, and in those days, a little money, and Swami purchased an earthen. Not only that, a little other things also for her to eat. From there our work started. Then so many other children also came and they were also begging for some food. The Swami himself was having only 4 annas. And he was thinking to go to Himalaya. In those days, they used to walk months after months to reach over there. 4 annas were sufficient. And in any village you go, people used to feed. So 4 annas was all right. But he spent the whole money for feeding these poor people. Then wrote a letter to Swami Vivekananda. What should I do? These people are mostly Muslims. Shall I serve them? And there are boys and girls. And we are monastic people. We are not supposed to take care of the girls. What to do? And you have to remember, it is 100 years before all these things are happening. Very orthodox Hindu society. Swami Vivekananda wrote back. You must read the letters of Swami Vivekananda. They are all just fires. There Swamiji said, this is the heroic work. Hats off to you. You are doing the heroic work. Don't bother about the religion. Don't bother about the language. Don't bother about the sex or anything. Just serve them. Help them. Give them education. Only food or clothing won't help. Give them education so that they can stand on their own feet. So that is called Sruhida Sarvadehina. Yesterday, one group of people, they performed the Durga Puja and they were asking about the Kumari Puja. And then I mentioned Swami Vivekananda, when he went to Kashmir, he worshipped a little Muslim girl, the daughter of the boatman. In Kashmir, you know that people, that in the boat they stay. So in the boatman, and he took the permission of the father and worshipped a 5-year-old girl, Shubhaga, and different names they can give, the Muslim girl. So that is the way we have to understand Suhida Sarvadehinam, Ajata Shatruvaha. Never feel enmity with anyone. We are discussing about the quality of a holy person. The first that I am reminding you, and also to me, first is Titikshava, that is the first quality. Second is Karunika, kind-heartedness. Then Suhida Sarvadehinam, the friend of all, Ajata Shatru, and no enmity to anyone. Then Shanta, very calm and quiet and peaceful. That is called sadhava. Otherwise, unless and until you are having, how can you become peaceful? You are not satisfied. That is called Santa. This is the way. Atharva Veda. As a Swami said, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna asked that person to go away. See, the Atharva Veda, it says, Ko Narakaha. What is the hell? Asking the question. And in reply, the Atharva Veda is telling, Ashat Samsari Vishayi Samsarga Eva Naraka. I went to attend one program, interfaith program. They were discussing about the hell and heaven. I told, this is the hell. They don't think that is a place only. Is the people's thought. Asat, that means very, very selfish. Samsari, who is thinking this world as the permanent. Vishayi, the same thing. Samsari Vishayi, his company. Even Narakaha. I have seen very rich people, but they will ask the other people to work. The poor people, they come from different places only for little money. And he is an influential person, he will ask them to work. And after that, suddenly he will go and complain to the police, they have done this, they have done that, and remove them. So that he need not to pay them. By that way he is having the money. If you take that company, his company, if you go, and if you take the help from him, or develop friendship with this type of person, it's a naraka. You are going to be in great difficulty, for sure. So we have to understand who will help us. You have to understand. You have to judge. And there are some people, holy people, they develop a sense. Anyone coming very near, they immediately can understand that this is not a good person. A great person like Swami Vivekananda, his mind was so broad. And anyone coming, anything they are doing, all accepted. As Rabindranath Tagore told, everything is positive and nothing negative in Swamiji, Swami Vivekananda. That Vivekananda, in conversation with his disciple, Swami Shishya Sangvad, there's a very good book, the dialogue between the disciple and the master. There he mentioned, nowadays, if any bad person is coming, I get the bad smell. Can you imagine? Selfish person is called Asat Samsara Vishayi. And their company, if you are sitting with them, talking with them, that is called Naraka. But sometimes you cannot avoid. So what we should do, we know that person is very bad, but the situation is such we must have to have some hello and hi with that person, that much only. Don't get involved. So that is called Naraka, association of a very selfish person. Not the samsari means anyone having the children and the family, no. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to go and stay and take food and in the samsari's house also in Calcutta. More than 100 times he visited a person's house. So not naturally it is not mentioning that. And sometimes some people who used to come and stand in his room after that person left used to sprinkle the Ganga water on that spot. So we have to understand Atharva Veda very clearly mentioned Ko Narakaha. What is that? Hell. Asat Samsara Vishayi Samsarga Narakaha. Ko Sharga. Swarga. Here, what is that? The heaven, then he said, Sat Sangha Sarga. The company of the holy person is the heaven. They will never cheat you. They will never betray you. Rather, they will try to help you. Always cooperate with you, encourage you. That is called Sat Sangha. Holy people, unselfish people. They always love. So this we have to understand. And there is a beautiful sayings, Nicho vadati nakurute. The unholy people, they only say, they never do. Now we know a lot of people, they were saying like that only. Sujana na badati karati eva. But the holy people, they don't say, hey, I'm going to help you in this and neighbor. But they do that. And previously, the young people in our society, they used to remember this type of the quotations so that they can understand. Nicho, unholy people, they say but they do not do what they say. Nicho badati na kurute. Sujana, the holy people, na badati, they don't say karati eva, but they do. Sadhunam darshanam punyam. So this is, the question of the mother was, how the holy company, first thing, how to understand the holy person and how the holy company is going to help me. And we find in the Ramcharitmanas, you know that book, that Guru Goswami Tulsidas ji, he wrote the whole biography of Sri Ramachandra. It's very famous. This Ramcharitmanas saved Hinduism from the onslaught of the Islam and in that 11th, 12th, 13th century. The people, they used to go on chanting this book and to keep their mind at that. Binu Sat Sangana Hari Katha. In the Ramcharitmanas, they chant like this. Binu Sat Sanga Na Hari Katha. Without the company of the holy people, you don't listen to the words of God. Who will speak about the God? Unless and until you are in the company of the holy people. Tehi binu mohana jai. Without listening to the words of God, how the delusion that you are in will break. Binu sat sangana hari katha, tehi binu mohana bhag, moha gaye binu ram pada. Without you are free from delusion, how you can think about the Sri Ramachandra? His God was Ramachandra. His chosen idol was Ramachandra. Moha gaye binu ram pada, hoina dida anurag. Here you don't know, but if I had chanted this in the Uttarakhand or in the UP, Siyabala Ramachandra ki, they would have shouted. But anyway. So this is, without any holy company, you don't hear the words of God. No discussion about God. And without that, delusion do not go. And without the removal of the delusion, there cannot be true devotion. So friends, what is this true devotion? That the mother Devavati asked her son, in the 3rd skanda, 25th chapter, 28th verse of the Bhagavata, she is asking, Kachit bhaktihi ki drishi mama gocharaha. What is the nature of the true devotion and how I will understand that? Kachit toi uchita bhakti. Uchita means the true devotion, perfect devotion. So we have the devotion. Devotion is nothing but love. But when that love associated with attachment, that brings the bondage. The love without attachment, that gives mukti. It is only love. We love, but we are not attached. So that is the mother Devavati is asking, Kachit tvai uchita bhakti ki drishi mama gochara. How I will understand that, realize that? In reply, Kapila Muni, he is telling, this is the same skanda chapter, but the verse is 32. Devanam guna linganam anusravika karmanam swatta evaika manaso vrittihi sabhaviki tua animita bhagavati bhakti siddhe gariyasi. So he is telling, when all the powers of man's senses, here the Deva usually is God. But here the Deva means your senses. Why the senses called Deva? Because it reveals. The Devata, Deva means that which reveals. Here all our senses, we have 5 senses, the eyes, the ear, the nose, the touch and the tongue. This is called Deva. This is sometimes is little complicated for the people not knowing the Sanskrit particularly. They use the same word for different meaning. Devanam gunolinganam. Devanam gunolinganam means when all the powers of the main senses, which generally go away through external objects. So whenever we know that we try to control, try to meditate, our eyeballs constantly move. Though we have closed our eyes, it goes on moving. That means the eyes are not at all satisfied the thing that you are trying to do. Why you are meditating? Open up, let us see. So many things are happening all around. So this goes on, and then the ear is constantly hearing so many different type of sounds. And the moment you hear a sound, immediately you start thinking, what is happening? You hear someone just honking over there. What happened? Who came? Why he is honking? It is inside the campus or outside on the road. Like that, just one sound makes your mind start thinking so many ways. So they call reveal. So Devata, Deva, you have to control that. Generally go out, not that you are sending it out, but by nature it goes out, are purified through practices prescribed in the scripture. Anusravika karmanam. Anusravika karmanam means prescribed in the scripture. What the scripture says? You must get up in the morning and then go and have little devotion, practice some meditation, like that all scriptures is telling. So that way, when you are practicing, closing your eyes and then trying to concentrate, so by that way, slowly, some of the political leaders like the Prime Minister, Presidents, you can imagine the difficulties in their lives. When they go, we see all the time they're having their separate flight, plane and so many things. But we have to understand the responsibility that is on their head. And they're so busy. I knew a person in India, and night 11 o'clock he returned from his office, then took a cup of tea and came back. Up to 2 o'clock his resident office will continue. Again in the morning he has to get up. So many things are going on. Unless you do these, you are not important. And in the political field you have to be important. So that way also, what he used to do is to meditate. He told me, Swamiji, it is difficult to sleep, but somehow I sleep for 2-3 hours. And then, before going for any work, I take the shower and then meditate for half an hour. And that gives me tremendous energy. So this is that you have to purify your senses. How? Through meditation. And get naturally concentrated on Ishvara. Then when you are controlling your senses, which are going out to the sense objects, all the senses are getting purified. Why? This is a very special thing that all the Indian philosophy, they say, when your mind, which is the main source of all the senses, are free from the worldly objects, it is purified. The purification means this only, and naturally concentrated on Ishvara, Satte Savaviki Ya Vritti Eka Manasa. Concentrated without any motivation or nimitya. Nimitya, no nimitya, without any motivation, that is called bhakti. This is the Bhagavata. They are talking about the bhakti. The whole book is, they say, this is the book of devotion. And what is the devotion? Withdrawing your senses from the external objects, concentrating it on one object which is God of your choice, any God or goddess, and there should not have any desire to do that, or nimitya, without any motive, then it is called devotion. I sit today, sometimes some people, they will come and they will sit over here. I have seen people crying and praying for hours. Can you call that devotion? No, because something happened. Now they are coming and trying to get some solace from the God, concentrating on God. Good. But that is not devotion. Why? There's a motive. What is that motive? I have some problem. Oh God, please solve that problem. So that is the motive. I am having this trouble. Please make me free from that trouble. That is the motive. So without any motive, the bhakti, you are having that prayer, it's okay. And one should do that, that's okay. But you cannot define and then I must be having some devotion. No. So according to the Bhagavata, the devotion is withdrawing the senses from the senses and concentrating on the object that is God or Ishvara, and at the same time you should not have any nimitta. Then Kapila added a word that is very interesting. Sa siddhe gariyashi. Sa siddhe gariyashi. And he says in 33rd verse, that in India there are two flows constantly in the spiritual world it goes. One goes for mukti, emancipation, liberation, and another goes for bhakti, the devotion. This is the devotional. And here the Kapila, who was a Gyani, who was a man of knowledge, but he is telling this type of devotion, love, 100% love, without any motive, is greater than the mukti. And a group of people, those who follow Mahaprabhu, they have developed particularly this Radha and that Krishna, that devotion. And there's the gopis and gopinis, the boys and the girls who used to play with Sri Krishna. These gopinis, they were illiterate ladies, but they had a great love for Krishna. The one person came, Uddhava, he was a man of knowledge. He came, hey, why you are crying for Krishna? Do you think Krishna means that person? Krishna is all pervading and all that. He gave a lecture on the knowledge. After listening to that, the gopinis told, we don't like to listen to you. We didn't stop you in between because you were telling with all, it's okay. But we are not going to accept your words. Why? We want only Krishna whom we love, that's all. We don't bother about the heaven, we don't bother about the emancipation, we don't bother about anything. We only want to love the God. That is Gariyashi. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is also telling, that is called Urjita Bhakti, highest type of love. Love without any other motive. Just I love you. And Swami Vivekananda said, love knows no barter. Exchange. Barter means exchange. That in olden days, I used to sell this thing and then I used to take from you that. That's called barter. No exchange, nothing. I love you, God. In exchange, I don't want anything. Now, if you take the vote, how many people will raise their hand? No. It's very, very difficult. Rarest of the rare. And further, the Kapila mentioned that Ya kosham ashu jarayati. But don't worry. Kosham means our subtle body. You know that we have three different bodies inside. One is the gross body, about which we know as very prominently physical and mental body. And it's called subtle body, that the Hindu philosophy, they say that it's the subtle body is there. And Karana body, causal body. So there are three. Causal means the cause. What is the cause? I want that. That is the first cause. The idea comes. Then I start forming that slowly. Now, an idea has come into my mind. If we can start one online school coaching about different religions. And when we speak about religion, we speak only about the philosophy, not about the background. And what is that background? It must be having a history, geography, social condition, economical condition, then this religion has come. Otherwise it is very difficult. Now the Semitic religion, all the three Semitic religion in one place, they grew up. That Judaism and the Christianity and Islam. If you notice, each and every one of them, they like to go out of the misery. So the conception is heaven. Some people are telling that we will lead you to the land of milk and honey. And some people are telling that we will take you to give you the mukti, because they were oppressed by the Roman tyranny. But a little away from there, Indian Peninsula, they never talk about that. Their religion completely different. They are searching for the Atman, the one who created this, etc., etc. Why? So there must be having social, because in India, the fertile land, there was a very good, the kings were there, and there was a check and balance by the king and the Purohits. All those things, the beautiful society it was there. So the religion that they grew, completely very high philosophical. And they never talked about this, don't tell the lies and these, that. Nowadays, of course, we have to tell, because it has gone down. And according to the situation, economical, political, social, so now the thought has come. Through that thought, Karana, this is called Karana Sharira. This is the causal body. Now, I am trying to convince some people who will be able to do this, and not that egoistically, but to serve the others, to help others. So that is another going on. That is Sukshma Sharira. That is subtle things are going on. Then finally, maybe by the grace of the Divine Mother, a person will come and donate the land, the money will come, the proper teachers will come, then we will start that program, and it will be all over, the students will come. That is called the gross body. So this body, and similarly, we see this gross body, Ishatmananda, the gross body. People know this. But why this body? Why this form? Why this activity? We having something previously. So that cause, the and the growth. He says here, the subtle body will be burned if you have this devotion. If the subtle body is not there, then you are free. You are mukta. So that indirectly he said, Kapila he said, this type of devotion, means that devotion, kosham means subtle body, causal body, kosham, ashu, immediately, jarayati, burned. And they destroy that. So after the death, you are merged with God. And what is that subtle body? Just to mention, now this body, physical body, you know that we are having pancha kosha, right? You know that the pancha kosha, the 5 different states: Annamaya, Manomaya, Pranamaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya kosha. These are don't think only this much. Is having, of course, if you go to a medical hospital and ask them to find out the pranamaya and the vijnanamaya, they won't be able to. But if you come to us, we can prove it. So annamaya, manomaya, pranamaya, vijnanamaya and anandamaya kosha, this is called this body. Then inside that, there is also a book, it gives the definition of Sapta Abhayava. Sapta Dasha Abhayava. Sapta Dasha means 17. Abhayava means Sharira. And that is subtle. What are the subtle things? Pancha Prana. This is so difficult, the Hinduism. God is there, I am here, in between the scene, and no, not like that. You have to know so many things. And we do not know much about ourselves. We know this body, it has a name, and my father, my mother, not like this. This pancha kosha, and then it goes to pancha prana. prana, udana, samana, vyana, like that, the pancha prana, that's called force, which is keeping our body intact. Then mana, we know about this mana, the mind. Then the buddhi, the intellect. And dasha indriyas, the subtle indriyas. The subtle or panchikrita, in Sanskrit terminology, or panchikrita. Panchikrita means mixed up. It's not mixed, so it is all subtle. And dasha indriya. We know the 5 plus 5. So 10 and this buddhi and mana 2 is 12 plus pancha prana 5, 17. So this is called that will be burned. And in the Bible, we find a wonderful statement. I don't know whether those who are reading the Bible will be able to explain this sentence. Here it says, to know the love of Christ, which passeth knowledge, that ye might be filled with all the fullness of God. To know the love of Christ. Christ is God, and God is full of love, and love without any boundary, without any reservation. That is love. So Swami Vivekananda also gave the definition. What is God? L-O-V-E. And that was personification of Sri Ramakrishna, personified. Jesus also the same love. So if you like to know that Jesus, the love of Jesus, you have to pass through the knowledge, pass it through the knowledge. The why knowledge? Because how Jesus came, the Son of God, and all this. But when you are going to and reaching to that ye might be filled with all the fullness of God, you will be transformed into God. So the Kapila Muni also say, if you have control your senses and then concentrate it on God, then without any hankering or any prayer, only for the love's sake, then you become God yourself. Here we also find in Bhagavan, Sri Ramakrishna also said, this love for God makes one forget the whole world, even his own body. And true devotee loves God for love's sake. Swami Vivekananda said, love for love's sake. I go to the temple, if the authorities are giving attention to me, this is not the love of God. I go to temple because I love. I go and serve, and then we should get the recognition that I am doing this and that. No. Then some people will bring the donation slip. My grandfather donated this much, so give that. So that is not the devotion. The devotion is completely other thing. Sri Ramakrishna again said, longing is like rosy dawn. We've concluded this. When you are loving God, feeling love for God, longing means tremendous attachment, and to get that particular person or the God or the ideology is like rosy dawn. After the dawn, out comes the sun. Longing is followed by vision of God. So the devotion, the longing and tremendous love for God is only the dawn, and be sure the sun is going to come. The vision of God is going to come after this. Bhagavatam again we find, some endowed with such bhakti do not aspire for moksha even, the oneness with my being. So friends, we will, from the next Sunday, this is the devotion and this is the quality of a holy person. But apart from these, the Kapila is giving us an excellent philosophy. I know this is God. I know this is the devotee. Then the relation. Okay. But where from all this came? Why these? So he is going to give us the philosophy. That philosophy, maybe we will take 2-3 Sundays to discuss the Kapila philosophy. So let us conclude with this sutra. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidu Surasuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Om, peace, peace, peace unto all. Please have some prasad when you go down and take that food. Our next class will be the Tuesday and Panchama Veda.